Hello everyone, Derek's Damn Toys, and we are back with a duo action figure review. Today we've got Elite Series 112 and 113, Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston. Of course, they come with each other. I got them both in hand. I said, fuck it, we might as well do the duo review together. Pardon my language, I guess. If you guys have been watching for a while, you know I tend to curse every now and again. Getting a good look at the boxes. Of course, Amazon did not ship good quality boxes to me, which is a great thing because I don't leave them in the box. So it's kind of a win-win for me because I don't have to worry about keeping the boxes in good shape if I wanted to keep them, because I'm not going to keep these ones. Anywho, of course, you know, you got all the bullshit on the back of the box. We've got most of this wave, and we've got most of this wave. We've got the Chase Carlito, we've got Dragon Lee, we now got Kofi Kingston, we got Trick Willie, we got Xavier Woods from this set, we've got JD McDonough, we've got Stacks, we've got Seth freaking Rollins, so we just gotta get Bray, Becky, Punk, and Tiffy. Kinda lit about that, completing almost 2 waves of recent figures that have been coming out. Of course, the ones I have been saving on, well, the Becky Lynch is actually fairly decently priced on Amazon right now, so if I really wanted her, I could get that. If anything, it's just the other 3 that are fairly pricey, and understandably so, especially on the Bray Wyatt and the CM Punk end. But why don't I shut the hell up and we can get the New Day out of their packaging, and well, we can see what's up with these figures, especially this Kofi Kingston straight out of gum disease. Alrighty, you guys, so we've got both boys up out of the plastic prison. As you can see, we've got all their accessories laid out. They don't come with a bunch of accessories, but at least they do come with some nice ones. We'll go over Xavier Woods' accessories first. He comes with 2 sets of hands, pretty much the same thing as Kofi. You've got the set of mic holding / weapon hands, and then you've got the Kawhi Leonard shaking, slappy hands, whatever you would like to call those. Of course, I just tend to refer to what MDT says. And then you've also got the nice New Day jacket with the flower pattern. Of course, Xavier's got black and blue with his color scheme, of course, matching his gear. And you've got the little New Day texture up in here, or the New Day sticker, whatever you want to call it. And then going over Kofi's accessories, as I said, mic holding / weapon holding hands, the slappy hands. And then he's got a different kind of rubber jacket, of course, thankfully both sleeveless. He's got a little bit of black, a little bit of blue, a lot of white, and of course some of the flower pattern. You've got the New Day logo here, thankfully not underneath the hood, so you can actually see it. And I'm not gonna lie, I kind of wish this would have been cloth, so then we could see the hood accessory actually be usable. But it's kind of just whatever at that rate. Now, personally, I want to get into the Kofi Kingston first, just because there are a couple of problems I have with my Kofi here. First things first, we're not going to talk about this god-awful head scan. We are actually going to talk about a little bit of production quality here, as I don't think that's how the shoe should look. If you look at the other shoe, there's not even any black in that area, let alone how it looks all scratchy and just nasty looking. So that's problem number 1. Problem number 2, one leg moves fairly fine. The other leg, though, is having a little bit of, as I call, D'Lo Brown syndrome, where it does not want to lock in place. So sadly, Kofi is going to have a little bit of heat treatment after the review is done, because I didn't feel like doing it beforehand. Of course, everything else does pose up fairly well, though. Even the pinless knees here moving nice and smooth, kind of like his last Elite, which I can actually pull out and show here in a minute if I really want to. I might do a little bit of figure comparisons towards the end or something of that nature. But yeah, you know, of course everything else is posing quite well. Even his torso is fairly nice and locked in. His ab crunch is nice and, well, nice and stiff, a little smooth on the same end as well. All of his tattoo decal and his tights look nice. His tattoo work there looks great. But this god-awful head scan is another issue of production quality. Now I don't know if I can get that from like next to his eye there. It looks like it wants to move, but it's also just kind of gross looking. I don't know what that is. I honestly didn't notice it until I put the camera up close on his face either. So yeah, you got that. And then if you look really nice and close at his teeth, he's got a lot of gum there. Very little teeth. In fact, some of his teeth actually are up here in his top layer, and some of them also pop out through the bottom too. So god-awful head scan. Like I really don't know how this one made it out the factory. I don't. But of course, getting into your boy Xavier Woods, just don't get rated R like your boy Xavier Woods. I think karma just came and bit me in the ass a little bit, because as soon as I said that, had to make a mean ass cough. So happy I was able to hit the pause button, because that shit sounded brutal. Anyway, taking a nice little gander at this Xavier Woods, the head scan is pretty damn good. Of course though, before I cleaned it up a little bit, there was a little tad bit of white like paint up on his nose. I'm sure you can kind of see it a little bit there. That's whatever though. You've got the nice Apollo Crews torso, the nice arms, everything poses well here. Of course, you know, like I don't have any complaints at all with this Xavier Woods. I was able to get both the legs to pose the way they should. No problems there. He can sit down. His knees are posing quite well. So it seems like some of the figures in this wave are getting a little bit better on the stiff ass knees. But what are you gonna do, really? Of course, going into the design, he's got his gloves up here that have the black and blue pattern, a little bit of flowers up in there as well, as you can see up towards the upper arm here. Nowhere else though on either arm. They're both in the same spot. So there's that for you. You've got the nice tight design look, which is all black, blue, with a little bit of flower pattern mixed in there. You got New Day on the buttocks there. And yeah, I really do love these gears. Of course, my favorite colors are blue and pink. So, with that being said, these black, blue, and well, whitish gears with Kofi and all them, I don't know if I really pointed out, he also has the New Day on his buttocks and stuff, but these gears are actually really fucking great. And I can't lie, I almost do want to get another Kofi Kingston for the newer shoe mold, because if I could put that onto like a John Cena figure and get the blue shoes with the retro like 2010 blue, or like 2010-ish look with the blue and black gear, I feel like that would actually be kind of flames. But yeah, with all that being said, I did kind of forget to check if Xavier Woods is on the new foot mold or not. I think that's something coming in with the very next wave that he's not a part of course, but Kofi is. So Kofi does have the rotating feet, kind of like how Carlito and Dragon Lee and everybody from Elite 13 onwards has. So keep that in mind. Xavier Woods does not have rotating feet, but Kofi does. With all that being said, though, I think I was trying to get there. Let's get this final pose down and maybe explain some of the carnage here around the arena and just show off the figures a little bit more. Alrighty, you guys. We've got everyone all posed up here. We got a couple of figures for comparison. And we also got Big E just chilling there because, you know, he was technically a member of the New Day. I guess you could say not no more. Personally, what I believe is they'll eventually realign with him if he does actually get cleared. And if he doesn't, this was their way of actually fully cutting the ties. I don't know, it's up for interpretation. We'll see if Big E ever returns, and if so, well, they all come back together as a three-man group. Of course, when it comes to the Kofi Kingston end of things, everything is quite the same on the last Elite Kofi that came out. Only thing that's a tad bit different, of course, is gear choice and the head scan. Of course, I love this head scan, I can't lie. This head scan would have been decent if the gums weren't all messy and all that kind of shit. So this head scan will most definitely be put onto that body. And then of course the Woods, it's pretty much the same thing, just different formula, of course a different head scan, and well, realistically, I like them both. Of course the King Woods though, his one head scan, man, that head scan is kinda iffy, and I only say that because of the eye. On mine, it might not look all that weird on yours, but it's a tad bit off-putting on mine. But yeah, why don't we just kind of do the final pose and talk about the figures now real quick. Alrighty, now that we've got them up in the final pose, just a simple little nod towards the fact that we've got, you know, that whole heel turn that just happened recently. It's something simple because the Kofi legs are a little messed up. Anywho, when it comes down to it at the end of the day, besides the messy messy shoe on Kofi Kingston and the messy head scan that I did swap out as I said I would, you know, we won't have Alabama Kingston up in here. But we've got pretty phenomenal figures. Of course, I know from my one buddy, Action Figure Universe on Instagram, also known as Tyler for the Fed, and well, that's also his real name. His Xavier is a little messy when it comes to his knees, so I know the stiff knee thing isn't fully gone, but it does seem like it's not just every figure review you're gonna get that knee stiffness from these newer figures now that we've got like 12 waves deep. It seems like they're getting a better grip on it, but it's not fully gone, and it may never fully stop until they get rid of the pinless legs and they just go back to the good formula as they should. But no, you know, don't listen to me. We won't talk about that. Anywho, at the end of the day, the Xavier Woods in his own right on my own end is perfect. I don't really have anything wrong, though his one leg was a little stiff on trying to put it down earlier when I was testing a super kick. So when it comes down to it, I may have to do a little bit of heat treatment on him, but I definitely got to do some heat treatment on Kofi. And with all that being said, this Xavier Woods, I'm going to give him a good solid, I guess we can give him a good solid 7.8 out of 10. Close enough to an 8-star, or yeah, an 8 out of 10, but no cigar. And the Kofi Kingston is going to get a good solid 6 out of 10. And if the figure was better in his own right, as far as head scan and that little mess up on the shoe, I wouldn't be as upset. The legs, though, are definitely something that also pisses me off as well, and that is also something that downgrades the system here. So I think a good 6 out of 10, or did I say 6.5? We'll change it to 6 out of 10. I think is good enough for Mr. Kofi Kingston there. But on that note, we also do gotta do the Dave Meltzer rating, the 5-star rating review here. The 1 to Young Buck match. I gave Xavier a 7.8, so I think a 3.6 should do just fine out of 5, or a 3 and like 0.75 star, whatever the fraction math there would be. I don't know, I'm not that great with math. I kind of rock Steiner math, let's be honest here. But we also got the Kofi Kingston, who is a good solid 6 out of 10. So when it comes to the 5-star rating, I think a good solid 2 out of 5 stars suffices this Kofi Kingston. And with all that being said, I think realistically we can just say fuck it, and we can call the video and end. So on that note, if you did like this action figure review, feel free to like the video. After all, it is free to like the video. Same thing with subscribing. Gonna mention it a little bit earlier here if you guys would like to. We did meet the goal of 300 subs. We are in fact, I think, at 304 now, at least as of recording. Could have went down, could have went up, who knows, with the wild game of YouTube. But if you guys could, feel free to do that as well. And let's also be honest, if you guys would like to, feel free to go check out some of my other action figure reviews. We also got unboxings every now and again, and we do also do pick fed stuff. As you can kind of look around the arena, we are currently doing Shinsuke Nakamura versus Kenny Omega in an I Quit match, a little feud I've been building up since the last pay-per-view. That's why everything's like messed up, I guess you could say, except for my phone and my vape being there, so don't mind that, I guess. Not promoting vaping, by the way. It just so happened to be in the shop. But yeah, we're doing quite a bit of shish here. And on that note, go check it out. We've got 4 parts out currently. An impromptu match with MJF versus the Sandman for the Intercontinental Championship in a tables match. We had John Silver versus Finn Balor for the United States Championship in a ladder match, the first championship match to be held in a ladder match since the Intercontinental Championship's first inaugural match for the belt. So that's kind of exciting. After this match, then we also will be getting into the Tag Team Championship match. We've got the World Heavyweight Championship match, and one more match on top of that, which will be the Case of Defiance, which, that briefcase is hung up above the ring, and whoever gets that briefcase, it's like Money in the Bank, just to kind of make it clear. But we are restricting it to just the World Championship. You can't cash in on the mid-card belt with that, because I think that's kind of, as a concept, just a stupid concept. Why would you take a golden ticket and waste it on a mid-card championship? I guess maybe some people would, but I don't know. That's just my opinion, of course. Kind of rambled on in this outro a little bit here, so that's my fault. I did talk about watching the Pig Fat and stuff like that. But yeah, on that note, with all that being said, I don't exactly know what else I would say, because by this point I would talk about subscribing, but I already mentioned it a little bit earlier, so it kind of threw me off my game. So I guess with all that being said, we can get out of this video. So have a good rest of your day, evening, morning, whatever the case may be. I don't know, because I'm not in your time zone. And we are going to get out of here. So, deuces, oozes. Hey, everyone's included here, pal.